Remember, you can never regard yourself as a true hunter until you're in tune with the hunted. Carp fishing teaches us patience, the ability to wait for the right moment. In life, we often encounter obstacles that seem insurmountable. But just like waiting for the elusive carp to bite, we must trust in the timing of the universe. For it only takes a second.
Here we go. Come on, girl. There we go. Yes! We've broke your blank spell, Kai. Just under £25. Sanctuary mirror. Absolute cracker. I'm fishing Ronnie rigs, and the reason I'm fishing Ronnie rigs is these fish are still quite young, 6, 7 years old, and they can be soft-mouthed. And I found that the pop-ups will give you a better hook hold on the soft-mouthed fish. Most people will fish this Ronnie on a stiff boom, but because I'm using it on a lead clip and it might sink into the bottom, that means a supple boom can just find its place among the bottom debris like weed and siltweed, which there's absolutely tons of in here. Oh, that was an absolute flyer. And I was just thinking of moving that rod. I've had a few fish show to our right, and I thought I might move a rod down there, and that was the rod I was going to move, so I'm glad I didn't. Big lump of weed hanging off it, there it is. Crazy carp. What's happening? Yes! It's going off, Kai. About the same size as the other one, mate. Second fish of the day. We've just had one show over the area, so things are looking good. Hopefully we can bump into one of these big sanctuary fish. But these are an absolute pleasure to catch as it's going. Go on, Mrs. Unangelic. Your last mate was a porn star. So we've literally been sitting here and we've heard a couple of fish show down to our right. So I've got my bait ready, and the bait itself is mainline cell, and it's crushed up, and in there I've got a bit of dynamite hemp and some smart liquid and a little bit of a response pellet. So that's all a little mix, so there's lots of different smells, oils and things coming up off the bottom, and then I'm dropping the Ronnie rig that I showed you earlier into that. But yeah, we've seen these fish show up there, and before I waffle on any further, I'm going to get this rod out down there and hopefully catch carp. So like, when you're fishing somewhere where, like here, there's quite sharp bar systems, I do love to have my rods locked up, so the fish really has to work for a bit of line. But when you've got sharp areas, I fish the clutches dead loose on the take, because if you think when you're trying to cut a bit of braid with scissors, you pull it tight to cut it. So when your line pulls tight on a bar because you've got a stiff clutch, that's what happens. So I fish a nice loose clutch. That way it just rolls off the top of the bar, and I can get up the top there, pick the rod up and get a bit of height on the fish before I get cut off.
Unlike other hobbies, there are no rules in carp fishing. You never really know what the next 30 seconds has in store for you. Perhaps that's the reason why we are fascinated with it. Carp fishing truly is unpredictable.
I was just sitting here making a bit of dinner, and that right-hand rod that we put out earlier, we moved to the sound of them fish, has dropped back and we've got one on. So it's worth not only using your eyes but your ears, because we heard them, we didn't see them, and we put a rod down there and it's gone. Doesn't actually feel a very big one, but you can never tell really at the range. Sometimes you've got to wait till they come close in, but result. I said to Kai, 3 to 5 fish is a good result on here, and if we get this in, we'll be on 3 fish. He just woke up. Turns out he ain't happy. Yeah. Told you should have bought beers, Kai. You know what? That looks alright. Look at the shoulders on that. Lovely carp. There we go. Yes. I'll be shocked if that's not £30, mate. £31, our third fish of the day, and you've got to be chuffed with that, haven't you? Them tiny starburst scales on it, big plates on its shoulders. Do carp come better? We had to have a look at both sides, didn't we? Massive fins on it, and I've got to admit, when I first looked at it, I thought it was a small fish. But when it got close to the bank, it really did put up a good scrap. But what, well chuffed with this one. Okay, so this was the rod we literally put this rod out about 35 minutes ago, and it's just an area I had a bit of a gut feeling about, that I know that the weed don't get that thick in for a while, so there's like a clear clay area out there, and it's done me a few bites this year, so I was sort of confident of a bite off it, but this one is out. Look at that, flying off of this. Come on, you. In you go. Proper little scrap of that. Let's have a look. Might not be as small as I thought, but no, it's another one. 23, 24. Lovely. That's what I love about this place. Your next fish could be a zipline here. There's levies in here at £35. Commons to £40. Mirrors to £40. They're all different. It's an absolutely brilliant lake. Check him out. A little bit different to the others, short fat one, and yeah, totally empty. It's like a bream, probably about 23, 24 pound again. Brilliant, excellent bit of action. Hopefully there's bigger fish to come tonight. Sort of first. We're literally not far off packing up, and we're just saying, if I get this in, it'd be nice to finish on a fish. So I like that one. Well, look at that absolute beach ball, and what a lovely fish to end on, just under £24. And I said they're all shapes and sizes in here, and you can see they are. And I think if we stayed on, we'd probably end up with another 4 or 5, but we've got to get back to normal life, unfortunately, and it's been an excellent session.